Welcome to Darling Stadium for tonight's contest between the Bethel Bruins with a 2-0 district record, 2-1 overall, and Hampton Crabbers with a 3-0 overall record, 2-0 in the district. There's a four-way tie as we start Friday night's games with Phoebus, Hampton, Bethel, and Woodside, all with 2 victories and no defeats in the Peninsula District. Now, this is a very important game because one of these 2 teams will come away from tonight's game with a loss in the district. And with the tight play that's going on and the superior teams that are playing, it's going to be difficult for a team with more than 1 defeat to have a chance to win the Peninsula District if, in fact, the Peninsula District champion suffers a defeat. So this is a huge game for both of these teams. It always is. It's a wonderful game because Hampton and Bethel has such great tradition, and we should have a terrific ball game between 2 teams who have excellent running backs coming into tonight's game. Right now we're going to go down to the sideline as Bob has head coach Tracy Parker of the Bethel Bruins.
Thanks, Tim. Trace, it's good to have you here. 2-1 in the overall, undefeated in the district. You got to get through the district to get into division, get Division 6 playoffs.
Definitely. We're a Division 6 team and basically a Division 5 district. So in order for us to have an opportunity for postseason, we have to win the Peninsula District.
And that's always a tough one when you got a team like Hampton coming up to. I know that you took a young man who played center and moved him to fullback, and it's really paid off.
Yeah, we took a young man who played center for us the previous 2 years, moved him to tight end, and he's done an excellent job for us. Marcus James, he's really adapted well, and he's taken coaching, so he's doing a good job.
Yeah, I didn't mean fullback. I meant tight end. I was just trying to pass the ball off to you. What do you expect from Hampton tonight, Coach?
Well, I expect a well-coached, disciplined team. I expect them to play hard. We just have to come out and do what we do, and I think we'll be successful.
Well, he says you're big on the front line.
Well, he's fast.
Well, big and fast is better than little and slow?
Well, we'll see.
Okay. Good luck tonight, Coach.
Thank you.
Good enough. Let's go back on up to Tim.
All right, thank you, Bob, and thank you, Coach Parker. Having an excellent season are the Bethel Bruins. Ladarius Adams is the big reason. He has just been outstanding running the ball for the Bethel Bruins, and for the Crabbers, their task tonight will be to stop or slow down Adams, and that'll be a big chore for them to do. On the other side, now the Hampton Crabbers, they have their own star running back, and that's Tracy McPherson, who has had a spectacular start to the season. When you factor in Elan Lewis from Phoebus, Tracy McPherson, and then Adams from Bethel, you've got 3 of the best running backs the peninsula has seen in quite some time, and it's going to be a real battle to see which of those 3 gentlemen and others end up at the top of the statistics at the end of the year rushing the ball. So it's going to be an excellent ball game between 2 teams that have excellent running attacks, and of course Hampton has a young man who's a real good quarterback, and we'll hear a little bit about him, I think. In fact, let's go down to the sidelines again as Bob has head coach Mike Smith of the Hampton Crabbers.
Thank you, Tim. Mike, this is old hat here. Every time we seem to start the season undefeated. You guys doing a good job. You got a nice young quarterback that's done a pretty good job for you.
Well, we haven't played very many ball games. We've only played 3, so that's not saying a lot at this point right now, but the quarterback does a great job for us. He's a really great kid, 10th grader, but he played 4 or 5 games last year while Michael was out with a broken leg. He jumped in there as a 14-year-old and played really well, and he's a very capable quarterback. We feel good about him.
You got a lot of confidence in the young man.
Absolutely. He's a great kid, intelligent, and he's going to play hard. He's like the rest of us. He's going to make some mistakes. He probably won't make as many as I do calling plays, but he's a good kid.
Well, one thing that you told me that when we were talking earlier in the week, that you said this is a great bunch of kids you've got, that you really like this bunch to coach.
Well, you like all the kids you coach. I mean, there's always a special feeling. This group of kids, they work awfully hard, and they just work hard, and sometimes they want to work too much. At my age, that's hard. But they've done a wonderful job up to now, and I'm sure they'll count for themselves well tonight. Now, not say we're going to win. We expect to win. I'm sure they expect to win, but. The kids will play hard. That's all you can ask.
And one other question. Now, somebody says something about running downhill. Explain that to me.
Well, you'll probably see it once they come out on the field, line up on the other side. Y'all be probably shooting back over their heads because the field's going to be tilted to start with. They are huge. They've got one of the biggest offensive lines I think I've ever seen in high school football. And they do a good job. I was very impressed with them last week. I went up to watch them play Minchfield.
Right.
I mean, it's 41-0 at halftime, and they just let the clock run the second half. And I'm not even sure they put 12 minutes on the clock. It seemed like it was over awfully quick. But they're a good football team. I think Tracy's done a good job with the kids, and they play hard.
All right, well, listen, good luck to you tonight, Coach.
Thanks.
It's always a pleasure to have you.
Well, it's always good. Make it back one more time.
There you go. Well, let's go back up to Tim.
Tonight's contest is brought to you by Zooms with 14 convenient Peninsula locations to serve you. And in part by Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, where Nancy Staten is the manager. Well, welcome back here to the booth. Bob, you're almost out of breath. You're in good shape, man. I'm telling you.
It's all that golf I play. It keeps me in shape.
Who won the pool on the golf reference?
I knew somebody had it early, so I thought I'd get it early.
Well, Bob, you talked to the coaches and didn't get a chance to talk too much about the kids, but while you were working way back up here, I was talking about the fact that we've got two of the best running backs on the peninsula tonight facing off against each other.
We really do. But I was talking to Tracy Parker. They lost that first game, and he said, we just stunk it up. We didn't do the things that we needed to do. He says we had good practices after. He says we're on the right page now, and everybody is moving forward. But this is a big team, Tim. Offensively and defensive line are huge, but they're not real fast. So they're going to have to, especially on defense, they're going to have to plug up the holes to stop Trace McPherson from getting through, because this young man can really go.
Tracy or Trace?
Trace for McPherson, Tracy for the Parker.
Oh, I thought you were talking about McMahon.
Yeah, okay, we'll get it. Yeah, no, it's Trace McPherson. But, and I talked with Tracy about what they need to do. He said, we got to stay focused. We need to execute. He said, but, moving Marcus James from center to tight end, and the guy has got 2 100-yard receiving games. I said, just amazing. A young man from center to tight end. But when I got to talking to Mike Smith, the one guy that I wanted to talk about was Dominic White. You and I have watched Dominic White play for, this is his 3rd, 4th year. Young man is a leader. He is just one of the best offensive, defensive linemen on the peninsula. There's another Fenner, Jacoby Fenner, the last of the Fenners.
We've been having that name in football for 20 years.
Yeah, and his two brothers, both of them are playing college ball right now, so it's good to see that. But on the offensive side with Hampton, let's go down to the field and listen to who is that, Roby?
Gary Roby with the pregame ceremonies.
You put your backs to this goal, come down this way. Hampton will receive to begin the game. Okay, gentlemen, shake hands, bring your team on, let's have a great game.
All right, well, we thank Gary Roby for allowing us to put the microphone on him for tonight's contest. Bob didn't mean to interrupt you, but I knew we wanted to listen in on that. Hampton will receive, and speaking of receiving, there is no appreciable win tonight.
No, what win we have is going to be going from right to left, and it's not real heavy like we had the last game. But we will see a young man at quarterback, Tyrod Taylor, just a super young athlete. We watched him play as a freshman, not only football, but basketball. Very high on him. Mike Smith and the coaching staff just think he's a tremendous find. He's a hard worker. And, you can't ask for the kids to do any more than that. But I love Mike in his interview, and he says, they want to work longer than I want to stay out. He gets too old. I don't know if he's falling asleep or practice or what he's doing. But it's good to see young men that are like that.
That's good to see, too. We got one of Hampton's finest holding
we'll probably be talking about that young man before long. We will pick a player of the game from both of these teams tonight, and that player will receive a shirt. The shirt comes from Tidewater Team Sports. Your one-stop sports headquarters for screen printing, embroidering, uniform, and apparel. Call 5940411. Talk David Chubb or Terry McNamara.
Ball taken at the 5-yard line.
Oh, look at the hole. Look at the hole.
Right up the middle. Good cut to the outside. Almost broke it. That is Jacoby Fenner. Talk about the name Fenner. And a real nice return from the 5 all the way out to the 32-yard line, where you see the ball being set up. And there are your officials. Gary Roby is our referee tonight. Our umpire is Bill Allen. The linesman is Alan Denton. Tom Chisman is your line judge. The side judge is John Patrick. And Calvin Hill is the field judge.
And that was number 10, Alfred Lane, that really made Fenner, after he made the cut, lost his footing. Nice field out there. John and his crew's done a great job out here.
All right, handoff goes to McPherson, and McPherson is stopped for a loss on the very first play.
Handoff to McPherson into the center of the line.
That big line I was telling you about, Tim.
Here are the Crabbers starters on offense.
Daniel Carroll, senior. Dominic White, senior.
Tim Richardson, Jr.
Sean McNeil, Jr.
Herbert Broughton, senior.
Brandon Vines, senior.
Raphael McDonald, junior.
Todd Nolan, senior.
Ernest Harvey, senior. Tracy McPherson, senior.
Tyrod Taylor, sophomore.
Well, Tracy pronounced his name Tracy, so that's what I'm going with.
Okay, we're going to go by Tracy. I didn't know if it was. I thought it was Trace. And
if he doesn't know how to pronounce his name, no one does, right?
So we'll go with him. If Mama taught him.
So Tracy lost a yard on the first play. Second down and 11, just underway from Darling Stadium. This game taped on the 1st of October, 2004. Tyrod Taylor has running room across the 40 to about the 41-yard line. He'll be about a yard shy of the first down.
Pick up 10 was 11 to go.
And here are the Bruins starters on defense.
Lamar Tyne, senior.
Antoine Collier, senior.
Marcus James, senior.
Michael Garner, senior.
Keith Lopez, senior.
Derek Johnson, senior.
Darius Adams, senior.
Terrell Marable, senior.
Jamar Jackson, senior.
Gary Tucker, senior.
Alex Smith, senior.
That's a senior-dominated team, isn't it?
I just want to say senior is the operative word with that lineup, so Tracy Parker has the veterans in there. We got a flag down. It looked like one of the offensive linemen might have left a little early, and that'll make it 3rd down and 6 for the Crabbers.
Yeah, I think so. Yes, exactly the call, Tim. Zooms has given an award to the senior player on each of the football teams this year who's demonstrated academic excellence. These players be awarded plaques at a school board meeting after the season. We'd like to thank David Allen and Zooms.
Dead ball, false start, offense, playing 3.
You notice how I interrupted myself?
That was good.
We'd like to thank David Allen and Zooms for your continued support for not only WHCS or our student athletes. 24 years, Scotty.
3rd down and 6 on the option. Taylor keeps the ball, and he is thrown for, well, he got a yard or 2, but he did not get enough. I started to say thrown for a loss. He actually forwarded to the 39-yard line, but it's still going to be 4th down and 3. Need to get to the 42-yard line, and Mike Smith will send out the kicking team. And watch this again. You're going to see kind of gingerly going down the line, and
yeah, he was really looking for somebody to make a move so he could either cut or pitch, and defense did a good job of stringing it out that time.
Standing at the 25-yard line, the kick is a high one. Not particularly long. In fact, you got to be careful because it's going to bounce backwards, and it takes a Bethel bounce. So the kick from Fenner doesn't go but to the 48-yard line. The line of scrimmage was, what, about the 39? 13-yard. So a 13-yard kick, a lot of height but no distance. Well, so the Bruins will have it in great field position.
Yeah, the Crabbers, that's probably their weakest area is punting and kicking. They've lost their kicker they've had for the last few years, the Johnson kid. He's got Crohn's disease and has sidelined him a little bit. Hope to get him back within maybe a couple, 3 weeks. They sure miss him.
So the Bruins start with good field position.
Oh, nice cutback by, was that?
That is Adams, 32.
Yeah.
Ladarius Adams taking the handoff from Matt Hill, junior quarterback. Let's see the Bruins on offense.
Brandon Pereira, junior.
TJ Burton, senior.
Jamal Williams, senior.
Terrence Johnson, senior.
Lamar Tyne, senior.
Marcus James, senior.
Jamar Jackson, senior.
Kenny Jones, senior.
Charles Johnson, Jr.
Darius Adams, senior.
Matt Hill, Jr.
And back to the live action as the Bruins going without a huddle. So they their introduction of themselves interrupted the play.
Well, they interrupted themselves.
That's right. Picked up a couple of yards. 3rd down and a yard to go. In Hampton territory at the 43. Hill checking off. Has double wideouts to the right. Goes to Adams, and Adams has the first down as he is inside the 40 to about the 38-yard line.
You got to like this young man. Much aligned, but nice cut.
All right, and here are the starters on defense for the Hampton Crabbers.
Daniel Carroll, senior. Dominic White, senior.
Brian Alsink, senior.
Tim Richardson, Jr.
Sam Green, senior.
Sharon Childress, Jr. Ernest Harvey, senior.
Jacoby Fenner, sophomore.
Tony Adams, senior.
Jeremy Kroon, senior.
Todd Nolan, senior.
And while we were watching that introduction, the ball was handed off to Charles Johnson, who was stacked up at the line of scrimmage for no gain. So, well, actually, he might even have lost about a half a yard. Let's call it 2nd down and 11. As we have 7:50, clock is moving here in a scoreless first quarter. Hampton had it for one possession, was unable to move it. Now the Bruins are trying, and they've had the best advance so far at the Hampton 40. This is Adams, and Adams is tripped up after a short gain.
Nice
Defensive play, 21.
Yeah.
You got into Sam Green. We just saw him being introduced a moment ago.
Senior, but I tell you, he did a great job coming off his defensive end. Actually, he plays at outside linebacker. Great job avoiding the tackle, blocker, and making the tackle, hitting him around the ankles and the knees, and that's the way you bring a good runner down.
3rd down and 10 for the Bruins.
Might see our first pass of the game.
And setting up to throw is Matt Hill rather. And Hill decides to run with it and picks up a couple of yards. A little bit extra contact after the whistle. No penalty flags that I can see as yet. But it'll bring up a 4th down for the Bruins at about the 36-yard line.
You got good pressure. We got a stoppage of play out there, Tim, and I'm not sure what it is if we watch the replay.
We got a player shaken up, I believe.
Oh, that's what it was.
Yep,
okay.
You got a Bruin down. There we see him in your picture. So it is 4th down and 8 for the Bruins. And trying to make out the number on the young man that is down, and hopefully it's nothing serious. They are apparently looking at his left leg.
That's big 73, Tim.
And he is now getting to his feet rather slowly.
Jamal Williams, 6'1", 280.
Now, you were talking about the size of the Bruins. I was looking down their roster, and there's a whole bunch of 220, 250, 280, 300s. These guys, you would not want to have their grocery bill. So the Bruins will kick it away. 4th down and 8. They get it away. Again, this is a poor kick as well. Does take a Bruin bounce. It'll go inside the 20 to about the 17 or 18-yard line. But again, a very short kick. And so both teams with identical series, if you will. Neither one able to sustain the drive, and now Hampton will have it for their second opportunity. Just a 19-yard punt.
Well, you know, he's better than the other one. It's still not good, but if he'd have kicked it and went into end zone, Tim, he would have lost 2 yards.
That was his strategy. I'm sure that's the way he planned it.
Because they're at the 18. If they're going in the end zone, they've been at the 20. So
a positive swing to that, Bob.
There you go.
So Hampton will have it for their second opportunity. Inside handoff.
Boy, there just isn't a hole there that time. Just enough for maybe
about 4 yards.
McPherson, 42.
No, actually, that is 42. That would be Ernest Harvey.
Ernest Harvey, the fullback.
Yep.
But he picked up yards, Tim, but there was not much of a hole for him to get through there. But I'm impressed that he got 3 yards.
Well, he even got 4. Ended up with 4.
Okay, we'll give him 4.
Here's the replay.
But look at it. I mean, that offensive defensive line, them 4 young men are huge.
2nd down and 6 for the Crabbers. Trying to stay perfect on the season. They're 3-0 overall, 2-0 in the district. on the option to pitch to the near side. This is McPherson, and McPherson has the first down out to the 35-yard line.
Boy, did he show some nice speed?
He certainly did. So Tracy McPherson picks up 15 yards. He had a couple of spectacular games so far this season.
Yes, he has. But I tell you, I'm impressed with his speed. He gets a nice cut right here. And that was that number 20 that finally brought him down, it looked like, for the Bruins.
That's exactly who it was. That would be Aaron Logan. But it is a first down at the Hampton 36. And this is McPherson to the left side. He's got running room. He's across the 45 out close to midfield, and he'll have about 13 yards and another first down. So 13 yards on that scamper. And McPherson showing the Hampton rushing attack.
And that was number 26, Alexander Smith, 5'9", 175, and he put his shoulder down, McPherson, and run right into him. He wasn't going to try to avoid him.
First down at the Hampton 49. And the ball is loose. It's down on the floor. Who's got it?
Looks like the Bruins.
Bruins say they do. And they do. So they recover the fumble at their 49-yard line.
The ball just never got into the runner just never got a hold of the ball.
Right.
I don't know if we got it on tape or not, but you'll see it popped out. I was watching it.
Never had a handle on it, you're right. So the Bruins will have great field position for their second try. And this is kind of setting up right now to be kind of a defensive battle so far. These explosive running attacks running into good defense.
You hate to turn the ball over, Tim. As a offensive team, you want to hang on and get your drive and get some confidence, and you just hate to turn the ball over.
This is Adams, Ladarius Adams. Pretty easy to anticipate what's going to happen out there. For the most part, you're going to see Adams carrying it, and you're going to see McPherson carrying it. That was the way it's been set up. And, of course, you add a little extra dimension to the athleticism of Tyrod Taylor at quarterback for Hampton. But pretty much it's the two running backs we're going to watch all night. Gain of 9 on that last play. Second down and 1. Fake to Adams, now going to throw, and it's complete at the 33-yard line, out of bounds inside the 30.
Jamar Jackson.
Nice pass and catch by Jamar Jackson. He's the senior wideout.
But, that's a good time to pass that play, Tim, because you're second and short.
Here's your replay.
And they're looking for a run, but nice. And then up came number 7 for the Crabbers, Jeremy Kroom.
They marked him out at the Hampton 30. It is nonetheless a first down for the Bruins. You're watching the Hampton-Bethel game, recorded on the 1st of October, 2004. Tim Cole, along with Bob Hintz, Bob Killen, and Mike Hauser, and the Channel 46 crew, coming to you from
we got to talk about a crew tonight.
Not quite so full Darling Stadium.
No, I thought that this place would be packed tonight.
Well, there was days of the old when the Hampton Bethel game, you couldn't get it.
You couldn't get in.
Got here 2 hours early to get in. Stand around the fence. Gain of about 3. We'll talk about the crew in a minute, Bob, as they mark the ball at the 27-yard line. Matt Hill under the center. Pitch to Adams coming to the near side. Adams cuts it in nicely and advances the ball to about the 21-yard line, where it'll be just about a yard shy of a first down.
Well, I tell you, the Crabbers did a great job. They turned him inside, but he still managed to pick up 4 or 5 yards.
So it's third down and 1 as he got 6 on that play. 3:20 to go in a scoreless first period. The pitch to Adams, and Adams is tripped up on a fine defensive play by the aforementioned Sam Green, number 21.
Did a great job.
Cut it up and made a nice open field tackle as Adams was thrown for a loss. And instead of a first down, it's 4th down and a long 3. As you watch the replay, did a good job of tripping up the big running back Adams. And the Bruins are not electing to try a field goal. They are going to go for it. 4th and 3. Play action fake. Hill has the ball in the air, and it is intercepted.
What an interception.
Got some running room down the sideline, back out to about the 27-yard line, but that is number 9.
That's Nolan.
Todd Nolan.
He's a great receiver.
6'2". Well, he's a great receiver, and that's one of the things you saw on his defensive play. He became the receiver. Watch this play action. He should not have thrown that ball into coverage like that. Ball was tipped, and Todd Nolan returned it out to about the 28-yard line. Man.
Great hands. Great
they said
hands.
He stepped out of the 25. So each team now has committed a turnover. Fumble by the Crabbers, and now an interception by the Bruins, or rather, ball intercepted by the Crabbers of the Bruins. And that comes with 2:28 left in the first period. This is McPherson, and he is out to about the 29-yard line of pickup of almost 5. Let's call it a second down and about 6 for the Crabbers.
On cameras tonight, Nat Braxton, Susan Bowers, Ron Baton, Mike Nowinski. The Crane cameras, Monique Bird and Jeremy Ferries. Graphics and animation, Andy Foley. Slow motion and instant replay, Andre Mattingly. Camera control, Sarah Myers. Production assistant, Suzanne Higgs. Audio and chief engineer, Don Charaus. Director, producer, big guy, Scotty, beam me up, Bowers.
Taylor back to pass. Has a man open at the 35-yard line. He's got it to the 40-42. First down. Nice move.
How about 3 guys could have tackled him, Tim?
That was great. That was Yak. Good Yak. Yards after the catch.
Man.
Number 22, Stacy Johnson. Just a sophomore.
But watch the moves he made. Looks like he's going to be tackled by 3 different people. And he came back to that ball. 1, 2, 3. Oh, the third one just hung on.
So they mark it at the Hampton 42, and they move the chains.
Nice pass by Taylor.
First down for the Crabbers. McPherson is stopped after a short gain. One of the looked like one of the linebackers coming up, shooting the gap, met him full steam. That was quite a contact.
That was what you call welcome to the Peninsula District.
Here we go. Watch this replay. You're going to see some.
Right here, boom.
I mean, boom is right. He did a good job just to hold on to the ball.
Well, he picked up a couple yards, but they were tough yards.
Those were 2 he'll remember. Second down and 8.
Or maybe not.
Or not. Case may be. Taylor wants to pass again. Has some time over the middle. Throws, completes it at the 41-yard line to the 35. And another nice gain. This one is Ernest Harvey on the receiving end.
Well, Tim, what they're doing is they're sending a man down deep, and what he's doing is bringing the defense with him. He's bringing this guy underneath. Great job.
Watch this replay from the ground level. Taylor looking downfield, throws right over the middle. Excellent job by Harvey.
And you can see the deep man, number 84 for the Crabbers, was Bassett.
They mark it at the Bethel 32. This is the best drive and penetration of the night by the Crabbers. And we may have seen the last play of the first quarter, down to 15 seconds, and it's moving. Handoff goes to McPherson. McPherson, tough yard or 2 as the Bruins really keying on Tracy McPherson.
That Marcus James, number 11, he's been in on more than one tackle tonight. That young man is really playing well.
And that will be the
defensive
final play.
end.
Be the final play of the first quarter. Gary Roby holds the ball above his head to signal so. So after 12 minutes of action, it's scoreless from Darling Stadium. Hampton and Bethel in the annual battle between these two long time rivals.
There's no doubt about that.
So long. Again, those of that may not remember or know this was the first game that Bob and I did. 1980, 24 years ago, the old Darling Stadium, Hampton and Bethel on Thanksgiving Day.
Was it Thanksgiving Day?
Yeah, it used to be the Turkey Day game, and after the Crabbers and the Typhoon quit doing it on Thanksgiving.
I didn't think they did the Turkey Day because it was too late in the season for the playoffs.
No, I don't think so.
You sure?
Well, I could be wrong.
You've been wrong
24 years. I've never been wrong.
Well, that's true. We're not talking about measurements, Tim. We're not talking about your 99.9%.
No, but I think it was played in the because that's when they before the district expanded, and they used to actually be able to plan the schedule. Now the schedule is done at random.
Well, and you have to have it. You can't play that late because of the playoffs that could be going on. So, and I couldn't remember, but I know that game in 1980, and I'm not even sure right now who won the game, but it was a big. Channel 10 was over here. I mean, everybody was over here, and Bob and Tim show began.
There you go. 9 yards to go for the first down. On the option, back to McPherson, and he is stopped in the backfield. May have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, but an excellent job, and I'm trying to pick up
49, Tim.
Nope,
Keith Lopez.
41.
I thought it was Lopez.
Nope, 41, Derek Johnson was the man. I followed him from the tackle. See if we can see it on the replay, but nonetheless, it was an excellent job.
Hey, there, 49.
Keep it running.
And 41. We'll give it to both of them.
31 is where the yard line is marked. 3rd down and 9. So they got back to the 31-yard line. Need to go all the way down to the 23. Back to passes Taylor, and he throws. What a nice catch! Todd Nolan went up and came down with that ball at the 6-yard line. A beautiful throw and catch.
Whoa!
And a 1st and goal for the Crabbers. Watch this replay. This is a real fine catch. Taylor had some time, threw the ball, got a little bit too much air underneath it, and watch Nolan go up and extend and come down and hold on to that ball when he did in the grasp of a Bruin tackler, but got the 1st and goal at the 7.
That's his first catch, isn't it?
First catch for Nolan that his quarterback threw him. This is Taylor sacked by the aforementioned number 49. That I'm sure of this time. That's Keith Lopez. And the sack all the way out to the 9-yard line. It remains 2nd down and goal. There you see Taylor on the sideline with the brain trust of the Hampton Crabbers getting the play.
And that's a good shot right there of Coach Smith, Coach Mann, and Coach Mitchell. That is the brain trust.
2nd and goal. 2nd quarter just underway. No score between the Bruins and the Crabbers. Nolan is set up to the near side. The fake back in the pitch and over the middle to the fullback for the easy catch and score by
Harvey.
Number 44.
Oh, that's Childress. Childress.
Makes the Crabbers 6 and the Bethel Bruins 0.
Tim, that was a great call because everybody was looking for the wideouts, especially Taylor, and he went right through the middle of the line and
just snuck out and was there, and Taylor found him with no problem at all. Extra point try is long enough, and it is no good, wide to the left. So the Crabbers kicking game suffering a little bit here as they hold the lead at 6-0 with 10:08 remaining in the first half. And that was a nice drive coming off of the interception by Todd Nolan.
Started around 20-something?
That was a 65-yard drive. Started at the 35.
Okay.
9 plays, took 4 minutes and 20 seconds. Todd Nolan's big catch to set up the 1st and goal, and then the touchdown pass over the middle to Childress. I'm trying to figure out how to pronounce the first name of Mr. Childress. I'm going to think it's Sharon.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
And again, I apologize if I mispronounced it.
I'm interested in knowing from the stat guys over there how many passes Taylor has thrown, because all of them have been completed.
Well, we'll find that out. Bob will have that for us in about a millisecond. He's got his little abacus here, and he's working his fingers to the bone. This is going to be taken at the 21-yard line. And a short return out to the 24.
Good coverage on the special teams that time.
That was Alfred Lane returning it. And we've got an official stoppage for just a moment here. The ball marked at the 25-yard line. I'm not sure. One of the players apparently has a cut, so they're going to have to administer.
And that's Brian Osink. He's 6 foot 180. They got him listed as 180. They call him Sunshine.
6 for 6 is Mr. Taylor for 80 yards.
I figured it had at least 5, but I wasn't counting, so that's what I got Killen for, right?
That's one of the reasons.
That's one of the reasons.
I'm trying to think of the other one.
Well, it sure isn't him bringing us anything to eat. That isn't one of the reasons.
Ball carrier that time was number 33, Charles Johnson. Picked up 2. Second down and actually almost 3. Second down and 7, let's call it. See on the sideline some of the Crabbers.
This looks like Indianapolis out there. No huddle and quarterback doing all the calling right at the line of scrimmage.
This is
nice
Hill,
fake.
And he's got 3 Crabbers chasing him after. He throws the ball, and that will be, I believe we'll see intentional grounding because there was no receiver in the area, and he was clearly trying to avoid being sacked.
You see, in pro ball, you get outside the pocket, you can throw it. But doesn't work in high school.
But that is the signal from referee Roby. So we'll watch this. He is running for his dear life, and he throws the ball toward the sideline, but he's got to have a receiver in the general area. Now, the pros changed that rule a while back. They don't have to have a receiver. They have to be outside the tackle box and throw back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they got to pass the line of scrimmage and be outside of the tackle.
So this is, we'll listen to Gary Roby tell us.
We have intentional grounding on goal. That is loss of down. We'll be playing 3.
So those of you who are familiar with the game know, of course, that does carry a loss of down. So the penalty from the spot and the loss of down. So it'll be 3rd down for the Bruins. And it looks like it'll be 3rd down at about 20.
Well, Zoom's where you can get that good Beantown coffee, fried chicken, pizza, potato wedges, Krispy Kreme donuts that Tim buys as a box in 1, ham and cheese, subs, Coke, and fill up your car with that Citgo gasoline.
Let's talk about the upcoming schedule. Got some good games still on
next
board.
Week we have Hampton like 4 weeks in a row, don't we?
Yep, we do. We have Hampton will host Kickingham right here at Darling Stadium next Friday night at 7 o'clock. Don't forget that new start time is 7 p.m. on Friday nights. And then on the 15th of October, we'll have Denby in here to play the Crabbers. And then the biggie, the numero uno. I got a T-shirt from one couple of years ago that says the game.
The game.
And unless there's some surprises between now and then, it'll probably be the game. That'll be Phoebus in Hampton on the 22nd of October. So mark that one down on your calendar. And a little extra statistic on Taylor. He's thrown to 5 different receivers.
Oh, he doesn't have a favorite?
Not so far. 6 passes, 5 different guys. Someone got 2, but we're not sure which one that is.
Could be Nolan.
So, 3rd down and long. 3rd and 20 after the intentional grounding penalty. Hill will give to Ladarius Adams, and Adams has some running room across the 25 to about the 24. Excuse me, the 20 to the 24. And that'll just get him back close to the original line of scrimmage, and that'll bring on the kicking team.
Well, and I know that the Bruins are trying to hope they get a better punt than they got the last time.
Yeah, because the Crabbers, you don't want to give the Crabbers good field position under any circumstance. Back deep to receive will be Todd Nolan. And kicking for the Bruins will be number 7, Brandon Ash. He's a junior. And the Bruins now set a couple of wideouts, at least making Hampton think there might be something going on, but Hampton doesn't fall for it. They block the kick and have it at the 11-yard line. Never had a chance.
Big turnover there.
I think that was 30, was it 43 that blocked it?
I look like 43.
Yep, that was Paul Shaw. 63.
63, okay.
Until we're told otherwise, that would be Andre Payne.
Yeah.
See if we can see exactly who it was, but he just never had a chance. So the Crabbers have it again, leading 6-0, and they have a 1st and 10 at the Bruin 11. Kicking game really playing a key factor in this thing
really
so far.
Is. But the Crabbers they just had so many people in there on the punter that time.
This is McPherson getting a yard to the 10.
You got to like the way that the Bruins are stringing out the Hampton Crabbers. Hampton's fast, but they're not letting them get outside of them, which is very unusual. But as big as that linemen are for the Bruins, it's unbelievable how with the size. Like you, I'd hate to have their food bill.
So the Crabbers looking at 2nd down and 8. They can get a first down without scoring.
Okay.
Now it's McPherson racing to the corner. He got a great seal block. He will walk in from the 9-yard line.
And that was number 9, Todd Nolan, who made that seal block so the Bruins couldn't get to him. And I think we'll see going for 2.
Watch this replay. Watch as he goes to the corner. You're going to see
there. That's
right
Nolan.
Here. That's Nolan. Yeah, you got not 1 but 2 just in case.
Yeah. Good job. And a lot of people think a receiver, all he does is catch the ball. You got to be a good blocker, too. And you right there, you saw a good example of it.
So the Crabbers, having missed the extra point kick, will now try for 2. Leading by the score of 12-0. Nolan sets up to the near side. Wide out to the right. Taylor wants to go to Nolan. He's pretty well covered. Throws to the short man underneath, and that one's just a little underthrown as the intended receiver was Ernest Harvey.
Yeah, he was backing up, he being Taylor, and throwing it off his back foot, Tim, and it's hard to get anything on it.
So the Crabbers fail to convert for the 2nd time and keep the lead now with 7:44 to go at the half at 12-0. Crabbers and the Bruins, as I mentioned in the pregame discussion, they are 2-0. 11 yards, 51 seconds, just 2 plays is all it took the Crabbers. But the Crabbers, Phoebus, Woodside, and Bethel all atop the Peninsula District with 2-0 coming into tonight's contest. Now tomorrow night, Saturday night, as you watch this game, the Phantoms will be playing Woodside, and that should be quite a game as one of those 2 undefeated Peninsula District leaders will go down to defeat. So after tonight's game and after Saturday night's game, there will be 2 teams undefeated in the district, and only 2. And that's what happens every year is the Peninsula District knocks each other off. This ball kicked deep, picked up at the 5-yard line. To the 10, 15, out to about the 18-yard line.
Well, that was a good run back compared to where he picked the ball up.
That's Antonio Matthews, a senior, who returned it. We got a Bruin shaken up on the play. You can see him in your picture there. And hopefully he's going to be all right. Just hopefully had the wind knocked out. Here is the return. Had that ball gone into the end zone, he could not have brought it out. You see a nice run back under the circumstance, and you can see at the bottom of your screen there the Bruin player already down from contact that had occurred on the return.
All I can pick up is he's got the second number is a 2.
And I'm hopeful that
it's 32.
Hopefully it's just the wind knocked out of him because
that's Ladarius Adams.
That's right.
When you're Tracy Parker to be out there quick.
Tracy Parker standing on the sideline saying, whoops, not that he wants any of his players to ever get hurt, but when your big running back is on the field and you're down 12-0, that can make your life and your night a little longer.
Well, and he's got to come out for the one play or they'll be charged with a timeout.
So the Bruins will have it.
Good shot of Monique on the boom there.
Adams will not be carrying the ball on this play. That much we can tell for sure. This is
end around.
Flanker around, end around. Kenneth Jones. And it doesn't get much. In fact, he got back to the line of scrimmage. That was all. Now, of course, the rule allows for Adams, if he is feeling well enough to do so, he can return now to the lineup. Again, the Bruins going without the huddle. 2nd down and 10. Jones was carrying that ball from the flanker, so he was a flanker around on that play. To the near side, split wide is Jamar Jackson. He's the only wide out on the set. Play action fake. Hill kind of running around, not particularly with some apparent direction, and you give the Bruins, or rather the Crabbers, enough time to react to that, you will end up with a loss.
That may have been a botched play, or somebody didn't go the right way or something.
It had that look, and we'll let you determine that on the replay. You're going to see he turned to the one side and says, wait a minute.
Well, maybe that was a call play, but once Matt Hill got over there to the left side and saw about 4 or 5 red jerseys, he said, I'm going to try the other side.
Or wait a minute, let me hand this off to somebody.
When there's nobody to hand it off to.
That was the problem. Adams has not returned to the lineup yet. We'll see if we can't find out how his condition is after leaving the game being shaken up on that kick return.
Fourth and 9.
So 4th down and 9 as the Crabbers will stiffen on defense and cause the Bruins to bring on the kicking game again and again.
I don't think they're going to put the 2 wideouts this time, Tim.
I don't think they're going to do that this time.
I think they're going to keep them in there.
They might want to have 13 or 14 players on the field, as a matter of fact. Ash takes a high snap from center and just got it away. And again, a very short kick. Does take a Bruin bounce, and it's downed by a Crabber rather dangerously at the 35-yard line. He could have fumbled that ball, and it would have been Bruins, but it stays in the possession of the Crabbers.
About 16 yards.
So just a 16-yard punt, but at least better than the last attempt, which ended up being recovered for a loss and a blocked punt. So the Crabbers up by 2 touchdowns, have the ball at the Bruin 35-yard line with 5:32 remaining to halftime. And boy, I tell you, there's a perfect illustration of when your kicking game isn't as good as you'd like it to be. I'm not trying to be critical of the young men. They're doing the best they can, but they're struggling on the kicking game. Now we've got a flag down, and I think we've got it might just be a sideline warning. And that's what it is. So there won't be a penalty, but the flag is actually thrown to advise the sideline that they need to back away, and if they don't do that, then there will be a penalty on the second time.
They're still on the field. They're still on the edge of the field.
So from the 35, Taylor back to pass, has all day, throws for Nolan. Nolan has his man beaten and got it at the goal line. Touchdown.
Was that a nice pass and catch? Oh!
A 35-yard strike from Tyrod Taylor to Todd Nolan. And the Crabbers are back on the board. Watch this replay. No pressure on Taylor at all. Great job by the offensive line. And then Nolan just beat his man, and Taylor threw it right on his fingertips. Perfect execution.
7 yards, 7 seconds.
7 seconds on that play?
2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns. What was the?
115 yards, 2 touchdowns, 6 for 6.
Well, he was 6 for 6 early. 8 for 8, yeah. 8 for 8, 115 yards.
He missed the pass on extra point.
On extra point, does that count?
Okay, good.
It don't count.
It doesn't count as an incomplete pass.
Okay. Then he's
8 for 8.
8 for 8. I like that.
I think last week he was like 19 and
Dead
21,
ball,
11 and 12.
11 and 12.
Defense, penalties, half the distance to the goal. We're still on the point after.
So referee Roby tells you about that, so that'll make the 2-point attempt a little easier since it's half the distance to the goal on the penalty.
Instead of 3 yards, it's 1.5 yards.
So the Crabbers leading 18-0, starting to pull away from the Bruins here with some quick scores in the second quarter. This is McPherson, and he is stacked up, still struggling, and now they rule he's down. And so the extra point tries continue to fail for the Crabbers, but really so far that's been about the only thing they haven't performed to perfection.
Yeah.
Watch the replay of the 2-point attempt.
And the defensive one, that's number 41 for the Bruins.
He was stacked up.
Derek Johnson.
And I mean, he was nailed at the 1-yard line. Looked like McPherson would have the end zone, and the Bruin defense denied him the 2-point conversion. So with 10:08 to go in the half, the Crabbers had a 9-yard pass to Childress. Then at 7:44, a 9-yard run by McPherson, and now a 35-yard pass at 5:25. So in less than 5 minutes, 3 scores have been made by the Hampton Crabbers, and they lead 18-0 in the battle of the unbeatens.
Unbeaten's in the district.
That's what I meant.
Okay. That's what I thought you meant.
It's really the only place it counts.
Well, your power rating.
I know. I knew you were going to pick up on that. But I'm talking about for the Peninsula District Championship.
That's the only thing that counts. You're absolutely right. I'm going to call Donna and tell her twice
she won't
tonight.
She won't
believe you?
She won't believe
We will get a player of the game from both these teams tonight, and that player will receive a shirt. The shirt comes from Tidewater Team Sports, your one-stop sports headquarters for screen printing, embroidering, uniform, and apparel. Call 594-0411. Talk to David Chubb or Terry McNamara. We do appreciate those helping us select and recognize what we deem as player of the game.
You saw the fans in the stands. It's a pleasant night out here. A light jacket, maybe a small, light sweater, but certainly not uncomfortable by any means. In fact, it's beautiful.
Well, Tim, there's a lot more people now than there were 10, 15 minutes ago, and it may be because of the difference in time of starters.
Well, we'll continue to remind you that all Peninsula District games start at 7 p.m., at least when they're played in the evenings. Here's the replay. Not much happening there. The Hampton Crabber defense holding that play to a short game.
Look at this spread. Got trips.
Trips to the near side. Matthew Hill is under center. Nope, we got a new quarterback. That's Darius Mullen.
Ball carrier is Antonio Matthews. Tackled by Jonathan King.
So Tracy Parker switching up the quarterbacks. Darius Mullen is now under center. And there you see him checking off with the lineman. Third down and about a yard.
Still got trips.
Long count. And now checks off once again. Now, they don't have a 25-second clock that's visible in high school football, but apparently he did not get it off because now a penalty flag has flown.
Has flown.
It is
like
a delay.
Flown
it's
the coop.
Flown the coop.
Dead ball, delay, offense, still playing 3.
So instead of 3rd and 1, it's 3rd and 6 now. It just took too long to make those changes. So now out of the shotgun, Mullen takes it and runs with it from the very beginning. That was a running play for him. And it brings up a 4th down. So the Crabber defense has done the job. And once again, the kicking team will come on, and Tracy Parker will hopefully get a little more success from that aspect of his team.
I tell you, the Hampton Crabbers, if they can stop them 3 and out like they're doing down at this end of the field, they're going to end up with great field position.
Well, it seems to me I would almost take an extra step or 2 further back if I were the punter, just to get a little extra time. He just got, he didn't get it away either. It's blocked and taken into the end zone, touchdown. So the blocked punt is picked up by Jacoby Fenner, and the Crabbers convert to another touchdown.
That's a second block punt.
Boy, if you're Tracy Parker, I mean, again, I'm not trying to pick on anybody, but your kicking game is killing you.
That's an understatement, isn't it?
As I said, you know, if you can just get a little further back and give yourself a little more time to get the kick away. But just like that.
Well, Crabbers are going to kick again. And who's that, number 10?
Ball up at about 4.
I believe that is Alfred Lane, who's on to try the extra point.
Number 10.
This one is long enough, and this one is no good again.
So, just goes to he hooks it.
So in a little more than 2 minutes, the Crabbers score twice, this time on a blocked punt.
So you're telling me they got, in 7 minutes, they've got those 4 touchdowns, right?
10:08 was when the first one occurred, and we've still got 3:18, so less than 7 minutes, 4 touchdowns. Yeah. Well, that one, of course, took no time with the block punt, recovered for the touchdown.
And the one before that was, what, like 7 seconds or something?
Yep. Well, a 35-yard pass, the second play after they got the ball back. So the Bruins have kind of blown up here and find themselves down 24-0. We still have 3:18 remaining in the half. There you see the score. Crabbers will kick it away again. Taken at the 15. Alfred Lane returns it out to the 29, a 14-yard return.
13-yard return.
Make that 13 as they'll back him up now to the 28.
That was number 30, Johnny Purdy, making one of the hits. There was 2 people that hit the runner.
Bruins take over 1st and 10 on their own 28.
The quarterback remains Darius Mullen. He's a junior, number 3. This is Adams. Ball comes loose.
Darius did a great job avoiding the first tackler that time, but it still only picked up a couple yards. Right here, watch him sidestep right there, the first tackler, but
Crabber pursuit was quick to the ball, and just a 2-yard gain for the Bruins. And he'll shift now into the shotgun. Double wides to the left as a straight running play. And not much, if anything.
Yeah, he gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it.
So you'll watch the replay here.
Crabbers do a great job of breaking into the, and that was Fenner, number 2, Jacoby Fenner, getting in there and messing up the that running play. Took all the timing off of it.
Did give him a yard. 3rd down and about 7.
Well, they were real nice on the spot.
Yes, they were. Mullen checking off. Play action fake. He's got the ball, looking to throw, and it's intercepted, I believe. No, couldn't hold on to it.
Almost. Number 7.
Nearly intercepted by Jeremy Krum.
Knocked down by Jeremy Krum.
Krum, excuse me.
Krum.
Watch the replay. Just over the hands of the intended receiver. And Krum could not quite bring it in. So once again, with a 4th and 7, the Bruins, and now we'll have a stoppage of play as their punter with some equipment problem. There you see the fans in the stands, some short sleeves tonight. A few sweaters, sweatshirts. Just a gorgeous night for football. No appreciable wind, no chance of rain.
Well, there was wind earlier, but Tim, it's just about nothing now.
Do want to remind you, come on out for the game of your favorite team. Great family outing, very inexpensive. Game starts at 7. We'll be back here next Friday night for the same Hampton Crabbers, and they'll entertain the Kickingham Warriors. On 4th down, the Bruins going for it, and they complete the pass.
Yeah, they got it.
It's a 1st down, and the receiving end was Marcus James, number 11. So Tracy Parker say, hey, you know what? We're down 24-0. We've got to make something happen. And now a timeout has been called by the Bruins.
That's their 2nd timeout, Tim, but they only got a minute 37. So.
Watch this replay now. This was not 4th and inches. This was 4th and 7. So this was a gutsy call because you give that ball up where it was. You run the chance of the Crabbers with 3 timeouts remaining. Another opportunity to score before halftime. But as it turns out, it was a good move. They mark it at the 41-yard line and a 1st down for the Bruins. They'll take a timeout. Mark those games on your calendar. Friday night, 7 o'clock. We'll have Kickingham and Hampton next Friday night, the 8th of October. On the 15th, we'll have Denby taking on Hampton right here. And then Hampton and Phoebus tangle on the 22nd of October.
There's the game.
Oh, it'll be a good one.
Not the Bears, but the game.
Young fan in the stands enjoying some of the refreshments. I had something. They have these wonderful chicken sandwiches here. I had one for my dinner before the game.
I know. Nobody
Delicious.
brought me one, though.
Well, I figured Ruth fixed you a nice meal at home.
As a matter of fact, I did. I had chicken before I came.
I figured, gee, there's a surprise. Didn't bring me any chicken.
Oh, well, I didn't know what time you'd be here, and I probably ate it before you got here.
Mullen gives to Adams. Adams trying to find a hole on the left side, and it does not materialize. He picks up a yard or so. Green on the pursuit. Samuel Green has done just an outstanding job on defense for the Hampton Crabbers here in the first half. Bruins going without the huddle again. And somewhat apparent confusion as the instructions being given from the sideline for the play. We got double wideouts to the near side, and now Mullen switches into the shotgun. And again on the option play, this time to Adams, and Adams gets nothing. Hampton defense just all over that play.
Well, Hampton defense and their team has a lot of team speed. And it's hard to get outside of that one. You can see right there, there's a lot of red jerseys around that ball carrier.
I got to tell you, my observation of that play is it takes too long to develop.
Yeah.
And if you're quick like the Crabbers are, you can't give them that kind of time. You've got to hit that hole much quicker than that. 3rd down and 8. We're down to 19 seconds remaining in the half. This could be the last play. Mullen wants to throw. He's getting pressure. Left-hander throws, completes the pass, flag down, couple of flags down. It is a first down for the Bruins, but the penalty flags will be very important.
There'll be ineligible receivers downfield, I bet you.
Got a little scrum after the play as the ball came loose, and officials are there to separate the players. No apparent penalties on that particular aspect of it.
That's your ineligible downfield.
So that will negate, if both penalties are against the offense, that will negate the play. There was a penalty downfield as well. I don't know where they just picked up the ineligible further downfield.
There's one, and there comes the other one. I think they both were the same.
Needless to say, the Crabbers will want to take the penalty if given the option. 4 seconds remain on the clock.
One through the penalty, the other one.
5-yard penalty.
So it'll keep the ball in the hands of the Bruins for at least one more play because it'll repeat the down.
We have ineligible downfield on the offense. That's a 5-yard penalty. We're replaying 3rd down.
Now the timeout being called by whom? The
We
Bruins?
have timeout, Bethel.
Thank you. Mr. Rilby, you being very helpful and informative for us.
We do appreciate that.
So we'll watch that last play. Had it stood, it would have given the Bruins a nice first down, but in the scrambling, one of the right there, one of
there was a
big offensive lineman down the field. And
he was right next to the guy who caught the ball.
yeah, that's what made it so obvious.
He says, I'll block for you.
Yeah. Oops, I think I might have gone over the line of scrimmage.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, Suzanne Higgs. That's our new cable. What did I had another name.
Production assistant.
No, but what was I had a name for
what were they called?
Mobile cable technicians or something. No, Andy.
Mobile cable technicians.
Yeah,
exactly what they were. And she is.
She is.
And she's also a production assistant.
And a lot prettier than Andy.
Oh, gee.
But then I'm prettier than Andy.
Oh, Andy, did you hear that?
You're prettier than Andy.
Did you hear that, Andy?
That's my buddy. All right, this could be the last play, barring a penalty. Mullen throws it up, and it's just over the head of his intended receiver, number 21, Jamar Jackson. And if there aren't any penalty flags, that will be the final play, and it is. So we've reached halftime here at Darling Stadium. Our score after 24 minutes, Hampton 24, And Bethel nothing. We'll return to Darling Stadium for the third quarter of action after this brief timeout. And we're back here at Darling Stadium for the halftime ceremonies concluding. And we have the halftime statistics for you. The Bethel Bruins in the first half, 22 carries for 59 yards. Ladarius Adams, 14 carries for 43 yards. And the passing game, 2 of 5 with 1 interception, a total of 23 yards. So the total offense for the Bruins, 82 yards in the first half. They just had 3 first downs, which Baba surprised that's all they had.
Well, they got the first, when they first got the ball, they started to move it, but then after that, they just like Hampton figured out what they were doing.
And they did fumble the ball once, did not lose it, and they were penalized 3 times for 24 yards. Our monitor, by the way, I'm not sure whether our picture's working in the booth or not because we don't have a replay monitor, but for the Hampton Crabbers, 14 rushes for 58 yards, not a whole lot more. In fact, just 1 yard less. McPherson, 10 carries for 44, so of the 14 carries, he had 10 of them. They were 6 for 6. We stand corrected, did a little adjusting at halftime. 6 for 6 passing for Taylor, 2 touchdowns and 115 yards. Total 173 yards in the first half on offense, 9 first downs. They did fumble the ball and lost it, and they were penalized just once for 5 yards. And, of course, our score at halftime, Hampton 24 and Bethel nothing. Childress scored from 9-yard pass out. All the extra point tries were no good for the Crabbers. 9-yard run from McPherson, 35-yard pass catch from Todd Nolan, and Fenner with a 2-yard block punt recovery. All of the scoring coming between 10 minutes to go and 3 minutes to go in the first half.
And the one statistic that you don't have up there is 2 block punts. And the punting game, and they don't have the yardage on the punting game, but neither one of the teams have punted real well. Hampton being lucky enough, they only had to punt 1 time, but after that, they've been putting the ball in the end zone, so you don't have to punt if you put it in the end zone.
That's a truism. I think that we'll have to call that a Bobism. You don't have to punt if you stick it in the end zone.
And you're right, our monitor is not working, so I'm not sure
what shot we've got, or
what shot we got, or who we're going to shoot.
That's right. Both teams have returned to the field. Okay. And just want to let you know what was going on there, guys in the van.
And while we got this real quick time here before the game starts, I do want to thank Tidewater Team Sports, your one-stop sports headquarters for screen printing, embroidering, uniforms, apparel. David Chubb and Terry McNamara are out there, and they provide us with the shirt that we give the player of the game, that we will pick one from each team tonight. And that phone number out there at Tidewater Team Sports is 594-0411. And we do thank our corporate sponsor, Zooms, who has given an award to the senior football player on each of the teams this year who has demonstrated academic excellence. These players will be awarded a plaque at the school board meeting after the season. We'd like to thank David Allen and Zooms for their continued support of WHCS and our student athletes. And, of course, the second half is brought to you in part by Park Lawn Wood Funeral Home, which is located at Hampton Center Parkway and North Armstead Avenue. For more information, give them a call at 827-4670, where Nancy Staten is the manager. And, of course, she happens to be married to a good buddy of mine, B.R. Ron Staten, who continues to beat me in golf. Really? Me and my partner get beat by them. He says it's 6 times in a row, but I think it's only 5.
Yep,
we got our monitor back. All right.
Now, if we can only find the Merrimack, right? So the Bruins will get the ball to start the second half. And, Bob, if you're Tracy Parker and you're trying to figure out what to do here, what do you do differently if you can tell at this point, second half?
Well, what you got to do is you got to get your offensive line to hold their blocks a little bit longer and get some people on the linebackers so that you can get your running back, Ladarius Adams, to get some confidence in running the ball. I know he's got some 44 yards, but it's not been a sustained drive. They do need to get the ball and move it down the field and put some points on the board. If they can't do it and they get the ball first, then it's going to be a long second half because Hampton shown that they can score and score quick. Taylor could throw the ball, and we know Todd Nolan can catch the ball. We've seen some real good catches, not only thrown to him, but also when he got the one interception. So Tracy's going to have to, his defense is going to have to step up and make Hampton punt the ball, number one. But they're going to have to get the ball in the end zone, Tim.
All right, we're about set to get the second half underway. Kicking off for the Crabbers will be Marcus Bassett. And we've got an official stoppage here for something. All set to go. I guess everybody's lined up. I'm going to guess his last name pronounced Bassett.
Okay.
And a line drive taken at the 10-yard line. This is right up the middle. Got some running room left side. 40-45 all the way up to the 47-yard line.
Well, that sometimes will kickstart your offense, and that's what you need is something positive to happen right away. A nice run back.
Antonio Matthews.
How many yards?
43-yard return.
And watch the replay. Like you said, line drive, so he really had about 15 yards before there was a defender down there.
He did a nice job with some good blocking from the special team. So the Bruins get some momentum coming out of the halftime break. Let's see if they can capitalize.
They're coming out with the trips to the near side.
And Matthew Hill has not returned at quarterback. This is Adams getting the handoff from Mullen. A flag down in the backfield. Or excuse me, downfield is rather what I'm trying to say.
In the defensive backfield we're talking about.
That's going to be a face man. Well, let's wait to see what the penalty is.
We got holding.
You got a holding.
Offense.
2-yard gain. 2-yard gain for Adams.
And that's from the point, 10 yards from the point of the foul.
Holding, offense, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Ends up being about, what, an 8-yard penalty because it was thrown about the 50, it looks like, Tim.
So they mark him back to the 40.
Well, that doesn't help you any.
Darius Mullen moves into the shotgun. Got trips to the near side. Now checking off. Left-hander throws and immediately hit. Kenneth Jones caught the ball and then was caught. And he's shaken up a little bit.
Samuel Green.
No, it's not him. Actually, the player next to him was shaken up. That is 21, Jamar Jackson, who was shaken up.
The other 21 is one that made the tackle.
Yep, Sam, and that's about the fourth time I've seen him.
Look at him, went right by the blocker.
That's correct, second 23.
So the Bruins going in the wrong direction. Second down and 23 for the Bethel Bruins, trying to get untracked here, down 24-0. Mullins straight snap, never thought about throwing the ball, running all the way. I got to tell you, I mean, I know it's easy to second guess, but I'm looking at second and 23. I'm on a straight running play to the quarterback. I think you got to extend the field a little bit.
Well, not only that, if you're going to have a running play, your best bet is a draw play. Or even a screen play,
something. But a straight snap to the shotgun quarterback,
and he just tucks it and runs.
Yeah, no deception or anything.
If I'm a linebacker, I know what he's going to do.
So third down and let's see, 15, 18, 19 yards. And this time a little deception with a quarterback draw, puts his head down, gets across midfield to about the 48. So I like that play a lot better.
Yeah. Well, that was almost like a quarterback draw.
Right. The other play was just a straight run. So, and
well, we got one of our players ran out of that's the quarterback.
Yep.
Ran out of a shoe.
So they will actually stop the play and not allow the clock to run. Excuse me. And now they'll re-crank it as Mullen has his shoe back on.
Well, they're going for it. Fourth and, what's that, 7, 6, 7?
Yep.
Too much time.
They stopped the clock.
Oh, did they? Still going over here.
Well, he just started it. He stopped it while he's putting the shoe back on.
I know. Let's still take too much time.
Mullen from the gun. Drops the ball, fumbles, and finally recovers it, but it will be ball over on downs to the Crabbers. So a disastrous first possession of the third quarter for the Bruins.
Well, I don't know if Mullins could see that, Tim, but the Bruins had 3 wideouts, trips to this side, and only 2 defenders.
Might have been part of the reason he stumbled and fumbled, because it was like, oh my gosh, I got to get the ball, and sometimes you look downfield before you
take your eye off the ball.
Yeah. So on downs, the Crabbers get it at the Bruin 46-yard line, leading 24-0. And this is McPherson, and he is wrapped up immediately by a big number 68, Antoine Collier.
Only 280.
6'1", 280. And he had McPherson
He's a whoa.
for a loss.
Welcome to the Peninsula District, Tracy.
3 yards.
Watch this.
To the negative. Boom. Yep. So, oops, I think someone forgot to block 68. Taylor will bring the play in from the sideline. Nolan to the near side, along with 22, Stacy Johnson. On the option, and it's mishandled, and the Bruins
got
no, I'm not sure. Bruins
like
had it
number
for a
11.
moment, but then it looked like a Crabber might have gotten it on the ground. And I think Crabbers will retain possession.
It's Bethel's ball. Unless he took it.
Now that ball squirted out. I'm telling you, the Bruin had it, but he couldn't control it, and a Crabber fell on it. It's one of those things where he bounced onto the player, and the ball squirted loose. And the Bruins thought they had it, and it looked for a moment like they did.
Yeah, I thought number 11 had it.
Watch it. You'll see what happens.
Thought Marcus James had it
Okay,
right
you're gonna
here.
See right here. He looks like he's got it, but then the ball is falling on, and the guy who fell on top of it separated him from the ball.
Sure did. Good camera work, guys and gal.
So the Crabbers keep it. Taylor in serious trouble, big pressure, rolling, looking, he'll run. He got the corner, and Taylor showing some of his athleticism. And he's all the way down.
We got a penalty on the 40, back at the 40.
And we'll probably bring it back. It's going to be a hold. Yep, holding call against
I think it's a block in the back, Tim.
Yeah, the flag that was thrown was way over there.
Watch that. Nice. He could be on the track team, couldn't he? Nice hurdle.
But for naught. So instead of a fourth down and short, it's going to be third down and real long.
Block in the back on the offense. 10-yard penalty. Play third.
Wow. 5, 10, 15, 20, almost 24 yards.
Take a third down and 34.
Yeah, 34. Yeah, I stopped when I got to the first down marker.
No, it's 24. It's 24.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 34, Tim.
The ball is marked on the 30.
And you have to go clear down to the 30.
At the first marker.
That's what I did. That's
okay.
a mistake I made.
Yeah, 34.
Yeah, I said 24, and I said, "Oh, I forgot." I stopped at the first.
I thought that was the mark.
Yeah, I did too. So You're as wrong as I am.
Third down in a mile.
That's scary.
Yeah. So Taylor over the middle and almost intercepted.
Well, in that case,
you're almost better not to intercept.
Well, because the Crabbers haven't shown that they punt the ball real well either.
Fourth down and 34.
He's throwing this back across his body. Number 22 for the Crabbers is wide open. That's Stacy Johnson was wide open, but it just couldn't get enough oomph on it. Well, he found him, but then he was running away from where he wanted to throw it. Just didn't have enough on it.
On the wrong foot, he was throwing across his body. Pressure on the ball, but he gets it away. A nice-looking kick, fielded at the 37-yard line. Just a 3-yard return, so a good special teams effort as Alfred Lane returns the ball.
Now, right at the 40.
33 yards.
33-yard punt. So from their 40, with 7:02 remaining, the Bruins will have it again. Still unable to score against this Hampton defense. Did a good job of containing the Crabbers that time, and of course they hurt themselves with that penalty as well. They would have
that was
been able to keep the ball. So trips to the near side again. Bruins come out with no huddle. This is Mullen with a pitch to Adams, and Adams gets the corner, gets a little bit of a block and picks up some yardage, picked up 5,
he
almost
is
6.
Strong. You see him push the tackler away.
And he does a good job of finding the open space too.
Yeah.
He doesn't just run and then have someone stop him. See how he picks his spots and they just shrugged him off.
He just throws the tackler.
Said, "Get away from me."
Yeah, well, that's wow.
Well, he's a big kid, 6 foot 205.
Yeah,
he's not, no lightweight.
You just don't see that often.
Second down and 4, and this is Adams, and Adams still going. Finally taken down at the 42-yard line, but another first down for the Bruins.
And that was right up the gut. Did a great job. Got a good block up there from the guard center on that side. I didn't catch who it was, but what a nice block.
And again, the Bruins go without the huddle. Trips to the left side this time. Getting the call from the sideline. Again, a la the Indianapolis Colts. Very good observation, Bob. That's what Manning has been doing. They come up to the line and basically have like 4 different options they can run off of it. Now, it appears to be what the Bruins are doing. Trips to the left, out of the gun. Southpaw throws it and is behind his intended receiver and almost picked off. Fenner got a hand on it. The ball was intended for Alexander Smith.
Well, if he'd have thrown it to where Smith was, it would have hit Fenner right in the numbers. Fenner was right where he needs to be when you're a linebacker on that side. That's your area of coverage.
Second down and 10 at the Hampton 42-yard line. Darius Mullen, the junior quarterback. And just a straight run from Antonio Matthews, who had the nice kickoff return a little earlier.
3 yards.
Picks up about 3.
Now by Jonathan King and Daniel Carroll.
Here's your replay.
Just a host of Crabbers, about 5 Crabbers around him.
So a big third down for the Bruins, desperately needing to get in the end zone. You see the story, the clock being a factor now, 5:09, clock is moving, straight run again from Mullen. Mullen puts his head down and got past one Crabber, but then a swarm of defenders there to keep him from getting the first down. So now I suspect Tracy Parker's going to go for this one.
He can't kick a field goal. They don't have a field goal kicker, but
and their punting game has been suspect. So
yeah, and if you kick it, it goes in the end zone. You're only going to pick up about 10 yards. So this is a good call.
Needs to get across the 32. You got to equipment issue that's being attended to by the referee Roby, and now we're all set.
Multi-talented Gary Roby.
Bruins desperately needing to keep the ball moving. Going to end up with a delay of game if he's not careful here. Just got that one away on the pitch, and the Crabber defense is there. Antonio Matthews never had a chance, and again the ball will go over on downs.
And change of possession, and the Crabbers will take over.
Just, again, too slowly developing.
Yep. Well, the Crabbers, they're playing the defense just the way you're supposed to play against the option like that. And you factor in the play taking a little too long to get going. And,
Let me show you how quick the Crabbers are. The guy that made the quarterback pitch the ball made the tackle.
Yeah, that's pretty strong.
That's quick.
That's quick. So the Bruins can't keep the ball and give it back to the Crabbers, leading by 24. 4:13 and flags are down.
Well, he's got movement.
Again, we remind you, the same Hampton Crabbers will take on the Kickitan Warriors. That'll be next Friday night, October the 8th, 7 p.m. game time. All games that are played in the evening start at 7. So make that change in your routine.
Dead ball, encroachment, defense still playing first down.
So the Crabbers get a cheap 5. First and 5. McPherson has some running room across the 45 to the 47, very close to the first down.
Nice tackle that time by 32, Ladarius Adams.
Ladarius Adams knocking him down.
He plays inside linebacker.
This is going to be about 4 inches short of the first down.
They get first down. What do you mean
No,
short?
it's short.
You were,
I want to see if you pay attention.
Okay, I want to. That was for my benefit. Okay. Boy, you do a good job of laddering the ball there.
Mark it at the 48. Fresh set of downs for the Crabbers. They lead by 24-0. Taylor on the option, and he'll keep it. He's got the corner. He's got yardage.
And he's
first
got
down
speed.
and 20. And Taylor is
touchdown.
52-yard run by Tyrod Taylor.
He showed some outstanding speed, Tim.
Well, I thought he'd get the corner, but I didn't think he'd go in all the way, but he did.
He just outran the defense.
2 plays, 44.
It looked like about 3 Bruins that might have had a shot at him.
2 plays, 44.
Right here, it looks like he might have the angle. Just couldn't get him.
63 yards.
63-yard drive, 2 plays, 44 seconds, and just like that, the Crabbers 30-0. Looking for another attempt at 2-point conversion. They haven't been able to convert the extra point yet. Pitch to McPherson. That's one way to do it. So McPherson adds the 2 points, and it's 32-0 now with 3:29 remaining in the third period. Crabbers in control of their arch rival Bethel Bruins. While we're waiting for them to kick off, you and I were talking at halftime when we were in the break about that Daily Press special that came out with the top 100 high school players. I'm sure that created a lot of controversy. I didn't get a chance. I went out of town early Monday morning, so I didn't get a chance to see the comments in the Monday paper, but I can imagine there were quite a few.
Well, they had put in the paper for all this time when they were talking about doing it, that if there was an athlete that you wanted them to take a look at, call in, give them the name. So, a lot of people that didn't get mentioned, Christy Hill was one of them you and I talked about earlier, a great athlete over at Kickitan High School in softball, basketball, and tennis. But if you go strictly by what happened in high school, there's no doubt in my mind who was number one. And that was Ronald Curry.
And I would have placed Allen Iverson as second, although I didn't have a great deal of argument with where it worked out. But Ronald Curry, for those of you who did not have the pleasure of watching this young man play football in high school, you missed a lot. I got to tell you, Bob,
it was a pleasure, wasn't it?
It was always a pleasure. I mean, it was like stealing the money to get paid to do those games because it was so entertaining. He did so many different things with the football. On defense, he was a spectacular player, ran back I don't know how many punts and kickoffs for touchdowns and interceptions. He was a magician. Watch the replay. I have to tell you my one best reminiscence. I probably won't. I promise I won't be telling. The championship game in Richmond that we did in a quagmire with 6 inches of rain.
Virginia Union.
40 degrees, freezing cold, rained harder than I've ever seen any rain come except during a hurricane. And this young man, I don't know how many touchdowns he threw. He stood at the 50-yard line and threw a strike.
Hawkins twice.
A strike in the end zone, not once, not twice, but consistently all day long. Ronald Curry, hands down, the most amazing high school football player I ever saw. His basketball was not that great in my opinion, but football.
He was just a great athlete.
Yes,
he
was.
But we would watch those games and we'd just look at each other in awe at some of the things that he did. It was like a man among boys.
It was amazing, and I hope a lot of you who are watching this game and have heard these comments have the same recollection as we do, because they talked about one of the games that he had where the 2-point conversion. They talked about where they beat the Phoebus Phantoms in that game. Just amazing. Bruins,
right up the gut.
And I'll tell you the second most amazing football game I ever saw was Allen Iverson in Richmond when you and me and Bill D were in a booth about the size of a phone booth.
And I went down on the field because I thought the game was over.
The Bruins were down by 14 or 16 points. They were down 16 points with less than a half of a quarter to go. And Allen Iverson brought them back, won that game, and then went on to EC Glass the next week and killed them.
And it was
40-0 or something.
That was like an afterthought.
But Allen Iverson, that was a freezing cold game. That was in Richmond. That was.
Oh, nice catch.
I'll never forget how cold that was. I mean, they had an AstroTurf at the time, and it was as hard as concrete.
Well, I was down on the field thinking it was going to.
Yes, it was.
Freezing.
A night game to add to that.
Oh, man.
The wind was whipping through. I mean, we couldn't get, I remember one game even colder than that. That was that Phoebus game over there where we went out and bought gloves.
We
at halftime.
We said, Jerome Young, buy us some more gloves.
We were breaking up the press box for firewood at that game. That was
a nice catch that time by Kenneth Jones for the Bruins getting the first down.
Got away from the game for a minute. I'm sorry, I was reminiscing.
But we've seen a lot of tremendous athletes in the 24 years we have been here. In fact, we ought to put a 25-year thing together. Talk to Scotty about that.
That would be spectacular.
I think that'd be a great thing to do.
Aaron Monday, Woodrow Wilson.
And I was talking to Mike Smith earlier about Eric Hunter. What a great quarterback that young man was. And then turned around and led the team to the basketball championship. Not that he was a great basketball player, but his presence on the court made them beat Hill. Remember Calvin Hill's boy?
Yes.
Grant Hill. Grant Hill was a junior.
Grant Hill, you might remember him. He played a little bit of basketball in the NBA.
Yeah, he was a junior at
South Lakes.
And Hampton Crabbers won that game, and then the championship game was almost an afterthought. It wasn't as good a contest, but
there's been a tremendous number of athletes that have performed. Bethel High School. You were telling me about this retirement of a number coming up here. We'll have to tell the fans about that too.
Yeah, that'll be when Bethel plays Kickotan. They're going to retire Sean Gale's number. He had 13 years in the NFL. Was a safety for the Chicago Bears when they won the Super Bowl. In fact, he was the special team captain for the Mike Ditka's Super Bowl win. Going to hopefully get a chance to do a little interview with Sean fine young man, Bethel High School alumni.
When I was looking at that article, and I'll wrap up my thought on that and get back to the game, I could not, if you stop and tell a stranger, and I do this sometimes when I'm traveling, we talk about sports, you tell a stranger about some of the athletes that have played on the peninsula, and I say, all those guys came from that same area? Allen Iverson. I mean, talking about pros now. Aaron Brooks, Allen Iverson, Michael Vick, of course. Ronald Curry playing for the pros.
Go up to Mel Gray and Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah.
And there was another
Norm
from
Snead.
Chris Hamburger.
Chris Hamburger, Jordan. So, I mean, the number, and this just goes on and on. Because when they did that 100 thing, when I heard about the 100, I said, well, they're going to have a hard time finding 100. No, they're not. They could find 200 without too much difficulty.
They could have with no problem at all. You're absolutely right. Oh, Ron Springs was the other.
Ron Springs, sure. And his son, Sean Springs, ended up playing at Lafayette and went on to Ohio State. 3rd down and 11. Back to the game at hand here. Mullen over the middle, almost picked off.
That looked like, was that Harvey? Yeah, 42.
Ernest Harvey couldn't quite gather it in, but now the Bruins will be faced with 4th down and 11 with just 39 seconds remaining in the 3rd period. Watch this replay. This was a great fake by Mullen. He had all kinds of time, but almost
look at
threw.
those 3 grabbers.
Almost threw it to the wrong colored jersey.
That was a tough. That would have been a tough completion.
Tony Rutland.
Tony Rutland, good point. I forgot about Tony.
Howard White keeps on going. Swing pass near side is going to be short of the 1st down by about 8 yards. And once again, that Crabber defense has done the job and will get the ball on down. Eric Hunter.
Yeah, I talked about Eric earlier.
And Aaron Money, as I was talking about. I remember going up to Northern Virginia for some championship games.
How about the Baker boys, Gannon and what's his brother's name?
This is going to be a
Baker
played basketball again.
Yeah, I know you're talking about Arnold Baker's sons.
Yeah.
Gannon and
there's another one, Arnold Baker.
Yeah.
Mike.
W.R. Deskins, Warren Chapman.
Mike Anastasio, Pat Patrick.
On and on and on and on.
We could do our own
Howard
thing.
White.
Yeah, Howard was when they ended up going to Maryland.
Crabber's going for all of it. And it's broken up, almost intercepted. Yeah. it keeps going on. Foley Jones. And,
well, that was the number 21, Jamar Jackson, did a great job defensively that time on Todd Nolan. Watch this. Nice throw, though. But he had the inside. Todd just couldn't get the inside track. If he could have got inside him, he probably would have caught it. He's got tremendous hands, Todd Nolan.
Just 9 seconds to the end of the 3rd quarter. Hampton 32, Bethel nothing. On the handoff, this is Tracy McPherson. Stiff arms his way, gets the corner, has a couple of guys to race to the corner. He is in for the touchdown.
He angled in towards the tackler and got in the end zone. What a nice run.
McPherson with his 2nd touchdown of the game. This one 43 yards to put the punctuation mark on the 3rd quarter. So Tyrod Taylor had a 52-yarder, and now McPherson from 43 yards out.
A nice cut right here, and then get a nice stiff arm.
Oh, it's a great stiff arm.
Now watch him go right into the tackler, because if he hadn't, he'd been bumped out of bounds. And
2 plays, 43 yards, 33 seconds.
33 seconds, 2 plays, a total of 43 yards. Bad snap, and the ball kicked and hits the goalpost. And falls harmlessly to the ground, but the Crabbers extend their lead.
And that's the end of the quarter.
With no time on the clock in the 3rd.
That's the end of the quarter.
Yep, that is. So let's go down to the sidelines as Ron Baton has a little special for us after 3. Here's Ronnie.
Here's Ron.
So the Hampton cheerleaders get a little airtime. Ron Baton with the
hard job.
The tough duty. What can I say?
Tough duty.
12 minutes remaining in this game, and the Bethel Bruins put it all over Mitchville last week, but that just goes to prove how bad Mitchville is. I guess they're real pathetic. They actually had a running clock in the second half last week against the Monarchs. But the Crabbers have taken the measure of the Bruins so far as the kickoff is returned out to the 31-yard line. And Tracy Parker's group will have the ball again. But I think it's at least 3 times that I recall, and perhaps 4, where the Crabbers have held on downs to get the ball back.
And that was 35 Morris on the tackle that time.
So they'll mark it at the Bruin 31. Crabber defense looking for the shutout. They've played extremely well tonight. They have come up with a big play. 95 yards in offense on just those 2 touchdowns alone here in the third period for the Crabbers.
Hill is back in as quarterback.
So Hill does return. Matthew Hill is back at quarterback from the shotgun, throwing over the middle and picked off by Todd Nolan.
What great hands Todd Nolan has.
Not a bad set of feet either as he returns the ball very niftily to the 26, 27-yard line.
Well, he hit Hill hit the receiver in his hands, but it bounced off his hands. And when it does, that's what, the defense plays this tip. They have a tip drill.
Bringing Nolan down. And the Crabbers will take over.
Tipped it to himself.
Yep.
26.
So Nolan with his second interception of the night. He also has a touchdown to his credit. So he's got 3 passes, and 2 of them have been from the other quarterback.
He's going. Oh,
doesn't look that way in the stats. But yeah. Taylor shuffle pass. And McPherson is wrestled to the ground after a loss of a couple of yards.
Oh, I smell some popcorn.
Yeah, someone
popcorn?
just walked in here with popcorn.
I'm starting to drool. I'm thinking about going to Zoom's. They've got Coke and subs and donuts and potato wedges, pizza, fried chicken. I don't think I want any of the B-Town coffee, so I'll probably give me a Coke. Zoom's, one of our corporate sponsors. Oh, Scotty, I can't talk about that. David Allen and Zooms. We do appreciate their corporate sponsorship.
Second down at about 12, almost 13. Taylor wants to pass, now decides to keep the ball. And just surges forward for some positive yardage. Looked like he was going to be thrown for a loss or a short gain at best.
It looked like he picked up maybe 5-6 yards, Tim.
Brings down Taylor.
Well, actually marked him short. Give him 4 yards on the play.
All right. Tonight's contest also brought to you in part by Parkland Wood Funeral Home. They're located at Hampton Center Parkway and North Armstead Avenue. Nancy Staten is the manager. Give a call at 827-4670.
Third down and about 8 for the Crabbers. Ball is at the 24-yard line of the Bruins. And movement, the only question will be where they've drawn off. Did the hard count get them?
I think that was the case. Yep.
Offside against the Bruins.
That's called encroachment, not offside. Do want to let the fans know that on the first Wednesday of every month at 7:30, WACS Channel 46 broadcasts live the school board meeting. So tune in and be informed.
So it makes the third down a little easier. This time it's going to be third down and 3 after the 5-yard mark-off. The pitch goes to McPherson. He's got some running room right side. Puts his head down and gets inside the 10 to about the 8-yard line, where it'll be first and goal for the Crabbers. Tracy McPherson. Watch this replay. Nice pitch, good work. And McPherson did a lot of this on his own.
Yeah, but they got some good blocking, and he got outside the Bruins, and right here, just okay, I can't outmaneuver you, but I can put my shoulder down and pick up a couple extra yards, and that's exactly what he did. Now they got 7 to go.
Yep.
Down to 7.
First and goal at the 7.
I have a little problem here.
Yep, a little posting. McPherson, again, he's a big one, too. He and Adams are good size. 5'10", 205 is the stats for McPherson.
Just about the same thing as they list Adams.
Yep, well, Adams is a little taller. He's 6'1". 6 foot.
Well, they got him 6 foot 205.
Yeah, they're same weight, a little.
16 carries, 100 yards McPherson.
McPherson on the night, 16 carries for the magic 100-yard mark. You may see it again here. He's got a couple of touchdowns already. This is McPherson, and he will walk in. So that's his 3rd of the night. Just setting up a real battle between himself and Elan Lewis in a couple of weeks.
The score goes up to 44.
You watch the replay, just outrun anybody. Got some good blocking. And we're going to attempt another point after by the kicker.
We're going to attempt another. That's the one thing they can't do.
This one is long enough, and it is good.
Hey. And look at the fans. Oh, I can see my buddy Brett Musgrove and his wife Barbara. They're throwing their hands up like it's a touchdown. They said, okay. Brett, very
all that does
passionate Hampton Crabber fan.
All it does is really illustrate the kicking game when it's performed. Makes it look easy, but it's not.
It's not.
It takes a lot of timing, a lot of practice, and it's just not an easy thing to do. Speaking of the kicking game, Mike Houston did not get any coverage in that top 100. Didn't even get a also mention.
Yeah.
Mike Houston went on to kick for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
But,
wasn't spectacular in high school.
Yeah.
I mean, he did a good job. He was a good kicker, and clearly did a great job out of high school as well. Went on to kick in the college game, and then
went on down to Tampa
Bay.
He was at other places too, but
I think he was in Oakland.
Yeah, I think so.
The names that are rattling around in these two old heads of ours.
Yeah. Some good athletes came through the school.
Good twist that knife.
Crabber's taking a timeout.
Well, they weren't. I don't think they had 11 players. Let's see what they got. 5. We got 9 players.
Timeout. Timeout, Hampton.
Timeout, Hampton.
So that comes with 7:50 remaining in this one-sided ball game. 45-0. Hampton crushing the Bruins.
Alex Hill comes to mind. What a fine runner he was for the Crabbers.
Yeah, he was one of the. They had a little write-up about him. They mentioned him.
Yeah.
Terry Kirby from Tab. His brother went on to play for the Cleveland Indians.
Yeah.
Wayne Kirby. And this kid from Williamsburg, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. He's
the swimmer?
No, the football player, Zindenberg or something like that?
Yeah.
That's
from Pocosin, wasn't it?
Was it Pocosin?
Yeah, I think it's Pocosin.
At the 11.
Another line drive taken at the 11. Up the middle can be a dangerous thing when you have that line drive. It gives the kick return a lot of opportunity to get a hit of steam. That time, Alfred Lane had a good return.
26 yards.
Brought down by Stacey Johnson.
First and 10 at the 37.
26-yard return. Marked the ball at the Bethel 37-yard line. Still looking for their first points of the ball game. The Crabbers even more resolute in denying them at this point, wanting to get that shutout. I think they gave up. I can't remember how many points the Crabbers have given up, but they've been very stingy so far this year. Matthew Hill back at quarterback.
Nicholas Harrison, the ball carrier.
Harrison is your ball carrier, Nicholas Harrison.
Daniel Green and Sean Childress bringing them down.
And at this point, if you're Tracy Parker and Mike Smith, you just want to get this one over with without any injuries.
That's the big thing, right? We have to be thinking of our players of the game.
Yeah, there's some tough offensive players of the game to give consideration to. McPherson with 3 touchdowns. Nolan's got a couple. He's got 1.
Tyrod's got 1.
Taylor with a 52-yard run. Yep. Fenner's played well on defense. Sam Green well on defense. Trying to by the Crabbers.
57 for the Crabbers. Sean Childress.
Childress, the lead tackler on this.
Down 7.
Boom. He ran right into Childress.
Gain of 3, 3rd down and 7.
Let's try and make it feel.
We got some carrying on going over here to the
Having a good
left.
time up in the booth. Hill back to throw, pulls it down, and then gets pulled down.
Well, he was going to make the throw, and then he was good that he didn't, Tim, because the receiver was double covered. And they only put out 2 receivers that time, they being the Bruins. And he was going to throw. No, he's covered, and take the sack. That's
he was covered already.
No, that was probably the best thing to do, because had he thrown it, it would have been either incompleted or intercepted, and there was 2 Crabbers around the intended receiver.
So 4th down and 14, yep, at their own 34-yard line. But that's been Tracy Parker's modus operandi all night. He's gone for a 4th down. I think this is the 4th or 5th time. And unfortunately for the Bruins, they've been unable to convert.
Well, he's having trouble with his kicking game. He's had 2 blocked punts, and the punts that the guy has got off have been real short. So he figures maybe we'll break it, you know. And I can understand his frustration.
So once again, Hampton takes over on downs with 5:10 on the clock, and it is moving. Ball is marked at the Bruin 37-yard line. Crabbers in the gun. Taylor being chased, running for the corner, and goes out of bounds. They'll mark him out about the 32, so that'll be a pickup of about 5. So the Crabbers will next tangle with the Kecoughtan Warriors right back here next Friday night. Game time 7 o'clock. We'll be here to bring that game to you, but we'd love to see you out here in person.
Well, I tell you, come on out, see the ball game, and then watch it the next night and see if you can spot yourself.
There you go.
Because we do show the fans in the stands. Fans in the stands.
See?
Uh-oh, we got timeout. That's their second.
So the inevitable is prolonged. I have somewhere here, I have my handy-dandy schedule that will tell us who the Bruins play next week.
Oh, I got that. What's the next week is the 8th?
The 8th of October. But I can get it first. No, I probably can't.
I got it.
It's definitely not in alphabetical order, that's for sure.
It's not enough what?
In alphabetical order.
Kecoughtan.
No, Kecoughtan we know about. We're trying to figure out Bethel.
Oh, Bethel. Oh, there you go. I can't find it. It's too ugly. Too ugly.
Well, I gave up, and then you tell me you can't find it.
You gave up?
Because I thought you had it.
Give up.
Thought you had it.
Well, I do, but I thought I'm giving you the option here.
There it is. I found it. Bethel next week plays Gloucester. That'll be a better day for these Bruins, I'm sure. Play at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday.
Oh, we got another touchdown.
Yes, we do.
That McPherson? Yeah.
McPherson.
McPherson carries for the score.
32.
I have to tell you, McPherson, I've sensed from the beginning that McPherson wants to rival the successes of Elan Lewis over at Felix.
And he's got a good guy to try to catch.
We saw Lewis with 6 touchdowns in the game we saw him in.
And the next night, I think he got 5.
Yeah.
Another good one. And the fans are going wild.
None the first game, scored 6 in the second game, 6 in the third game.
Now you heard that from the mouth of Bob Keller.
So 52 is the score now.
One of those 3.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, I think we just almost have to do that one.
Well, I was one of these 3.
Okay.
I think, yeah.
I'll let you decide.
Let's go with that. Let's go to this one. And you want to go with this one?
Yeah. Yeah, 4 touchdowns. How many yards does Mr. McPherson have tonight?
134.
134 yards on 4 touchdowns for McPherson. And a 2-point conversion.
37 yards, 38 seconds. 2 plays.
They're just scoring so quickly. 37 yards on 2 plays, 38 seconds with a touchdown.
At 15.
This is Alfred Lane again, and this is his best return of the night. Unfortunately for the Bruins, he's had way too many opportunities to practice.
And that's one of the first times, and I think the first time in the second half that they've been in Crabber territory.
I think you're right. This is a good return, though, by the young man, Alfred Lane.
Nice cut right here.
Yeah, did a good job. Showed some good speed. Took it all the way down to the Hampton 41-yard line. So the Bruins with 4:17 remaining in the ballgame.
Matt Hill is still in quarterback.
Ball carrier Antonio Matthews.
And that is Tim Richardson, 6 foot, 240-pound junior for the Crabbers that wrapped him up. Richardson playing one of the defensive ends for the Crabbers.
Nice run up the middle by 43, Nicholas Harrison. And he picks up a first down to the Hampton 25. So a little bit of suspense here as to whether or not the Crabbers will be able to hold the Bruins scoreless in the game.
Nice run right up the middle. Got some good blocking, then made a couple of nice cuts. And that was who?
That was Nicholas Harrison.
Nicholas.
First down at the Hampton 25.
Just a sophomore.
3:05 on the clock, and it's running.
We got movement.
Harrison with the ball again, but a flag down, and Bulldog down for a yard loss. Coming over to make the stop on a nice defensive effort, number 7, Jeremy Kroom.
Not Chrome.
No, Kroom. And there's a couple of gentlemen, 3 gentlemen in particular, 4, now 5. Oh, I'm going to keep pulling out. I'm going to keep counting. Enjoying the ball game, staying till the very end. Pleasant night here tonight. Beautiful people in shorts, short sleeves, sweater, jacket, nice. No rain. Ron ESPN Beaton and Mr. Braxton were telling me this. I started to say, call him something else. Braxton says, no rain tonight. He loves rain.
Oh, yeah. He grows. He's, like plants. He grows when it rains, right?
No, that's not what he does when it rains.
He shrivels up?
He shrivels up, yeah. He doesn't like rain. Looked like the flanker around. That was 21, Jamar Jackson. Ran that play earlier and got a little bit of yardage. Got some this time. Picked up about 4.
All right, let's talk about the players of the game, Timmy.
Well, I'm going to tell you that it was not an easy choice because of all the success on offense that the Crabbers and defense. Sam Green did a great job on defense holding the Bruins, and they have done a spectacular job. But we're going to go with Tracy McPherson. 4 touchdowns, over 130 yards rushing. Hill's pressured, and he gets it away, but there's no one there. Now, is that going to be grounding or not? There's no Bruin over there.
There's a flag.
There is a flag. And that's going to be it. See, that's the difference. He threw it back to the line of scrimmage, and he was outside the tackle box, but he didn't have a receiver.
Well, on the Bruins side, we're looking at Derek Johnson, Keith Lopez, Marcus James, Ladarius Adams, just to name a few, Mullins and Hill. They did a incredible job, but we're going to go with number 11, Marcus James, as our player of the game for the Bruins tonight.
So again, a loss of down will be accompanying this penalty. 148.
Has he got his microphone off?
I'm not sure. Might have run out. He's used it a fair amount tonight. .148 remaining on the clock. The game all taken care of, all settled. Just the final minute 48 to be run off, and whether or not the Crabbers can defend and prevent a score. And it looks like they will, since that will give the ball back to the Crabbers on downs for the 5th or 6th time tonight.
Well, a minute 40.
But I'm like you, Tim. You can't get better entertainment than coming to a football game here at Darling Stadium. Minimal cost, great entertainment. See some great athletes that may end up one day as one of the best 100 if they do it again.
Flags are down on the play. Crabbers running it up the middle. Let's see what the penalty flags are, but
oh, there's John, a part of the stadium crew.
5-yard penalty against the Hogs.
I believe the Crabbers might have had an illegal procedure penalty.
Illegal shift. Against the Crabbers.
And we got number 11 quarterbacking. That's Tevin Sean Sneed. He's just a freshman. 5'10", 170, freshman. And he's backing up a sophomore.
Nothing happening on that play.
Tackle in the backfield.
Somewhat mercifully as Tevin Swan Sneed. That's Swan-Sneed.
That was Jarrett Colbert, 5'10", 220, that fell on top of it.
So the Hampton Crabbers, with we're under a minute now, will improve to 4-0, 3-0 in the district. And the Bruins will fall to 2-1 in the district and 2-2 overall. On the delayed handoff, nice run up the middle by the Crabbers, number 20, Donovan Cotton.
Down by
I think that's Cotton. Are those T's or an L there, Bob? The numbers run a little.
I think it's Cotton.
It's either Cotton or Colton. One of the two.
I got C-O. It looked like C-O-T-T-O-N.
Yep, I hope it is.
Yep.
14 seconds. Clock is winding down to the double zeros.
That's where it's going to end. No,
May get one more playoff. On the draw play. Up to midfield as time will expire. And so the game that on paper looked like it was going to be a pretty good contest turns out to be no contest as the Crabbers run away from the Bruins 52-0. That's right.
We don't play it on paper,
That's what I hear.
Players
So
of
our
the games are?
Players of the game are Tracy McPherson for Hampton, Marcus James for the Bethel Bruins. Tonight's game has been brought to you by Zooms with 14 convenient Peninsula locations to serve you, and in part by Parklawn Wood Funeral Home, where Nancy Staten is the director.
And the manager.
And the manager, that too. And that's going to do it for us tonight. For Bob Hintz, Bob Killen, Mike Hauser, and the entire Channel 46 crew, this is Tim Cole. Thanks for watching. Good night, everybody.